If you've ever been betrayed or dreamed of serving up sweet, sweet justice, hit that like button, subscribe, and get ready. Because this is one of the most jaw-dropping, emotionally charged revenge stories you're going to hear today. Full narrative expansion. The setup, the dream life. I am Nancy. 10 years ago, I was living what I thought was the American dream. A gorgeous house. A husband I thought adored me. A career I worked hard for. Even the car in the driveway was one I had dreamed of owning since I was a teenager. Every morning I would wake up thinking, this is it. This is the life people envy. But behind that picture-perfect exterior, cracks were already forming. At first, they were small. He started coming home late, offering flimsy excuses. He avoided intimacy, brushing me off with, I'm tired, or I've got too much work. You know that gut feeling you get? That icy little knot in your stomach telling you something isn't right? Yeah, mine was screaming at me. The discovery, betrayal in the palm of my hand. One day, I couldn't take it anymore. Curiosity, fear, and suspicion boiled over until I grabbed his phone. My hands were literally shaking as I typed in his passcode. What I found? Not just one affair. Not even two. But multiple. And the bombshell? He wasn't cheating with women. He was cheating with men. Now, let me be clear. I have no problem with anyone exploring their sexuality. I respect the LGBTQ+ community. But here's the problem. This was my husband. The man who promised me honesty, love, loyalty. And instead of telling me the truth, he chose lies, secrecy, and betrayal. My knees went weak. My chest tightened like I couldn't breathe. The person I trusted most had become a stranger overnight. The twist, an unlikely friendship. I found one of the guys he'd been seeing. Let's call him Chris. I should have hated him. But instead, we clicked. Because guess what, he'd been lied to too. Through Chris, I discovered the full extent of my husband's double life. He wasn't just on one date, he was on Grindr, hooking up with countless men behind my back. When Chris told me everything, I felt two things at once, heartbreak and clarity. Because right then and there, I decided if my husband thought he could lie and betray me, he was about to learn exactly who he was dealing with. The plan, revenge in motion. Chris and I formed an alliance. Together, we devised a plan that would not only expose him but legally obliterate him. Here's where fate smiled on me. Years earlier, my father insisted I sign a prenup before marriage. A prenup that had one very specific clause: if my husband cheated, and I could prove it, the marriage was terminated in my favor. All I needed was evidence. Chris convinced my husband to meet him at a hotel. A special night. Meanwhile, I waited. Hidden. Watching this elaborate trap unfold. My heart pounded so loudly I thought it would give me away. My palms were slick with sweat. I kept rehearsing the words in my head. Stay strong. Don't cry. Show him what he's done. When my husband arrived, Chris played his part perfectly. I'm just going to freshen up, he told him, walking toward the bathroom. But instead of Chris stepping out, it was me. The confrontation, prenup justice. I'll never forget the look on his face. His jaw dropped. His skin drained of color. He stammered, what are you doing here? I held up my phone, filled with evidence. Grindr messages. Photos. Conversations. And then, I handed him a copy of our prenup. The section about infidelity highlighted in neon yellow. My voice was steady. Cold. I know everything. And thanks to this, you're done. The house, the assets, the car, they're mine. You're finished. He froze. For once, he had no excuses, no slick lies. Just silence. And then, he bolted. Ran out like the coward he was. The fallout, stripped of everything. The court hearings were almost laughable. My prenup was airtight. I was the primary breadwinner. The house was mine. Even his car was in my name. He left with nothing but a beat-up old Nissan and the clothes on his back. That's it. Years of lies, destroyed in a single courtroom session. Meanwhile, I kept everything. My life. My home. My dignity. He even tried crawling back to Chris, the guy he thought was his escape. But Chris? He wanted nothing to do with him anymore. Our unlikely friendship was built on honesty, and that was something my ex could never offer. The last I heard, my ex moved back in with his parents and was working retail at Target. And me? I moved on, stronger, smarter, and free. Climactic revenge payoff. There's a saying, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Well, let me tell you, hell hath no fury like a Latina scorned. The look on his face that night in the hotel? That was the moment I knew justice was mine. The satisfaction of watching him stripped of everything he valued, money, status, reputation, was better than any apology he could have ever offered. Reflective wrap-up. Betrayal cuts deep. But sometimes, justice isn't just about moving on. It's about showing the person who underestimated you that actions have consequences. I didn't just survive his betrayal. I turned it into my victory. Outro call to action. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button and tell me in the comments, what's the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen or delivered yourself? And don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping stories just like this one. Trust me, you don't want to miss the next one.